Welcome once again to lesson number 5. We are going to look at Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia comprises of up to 9 phyla, but here we are only going to look at 2 phyla, that is phylum Arthropoda and phylum Chordata. Let me write it on the board. Phylum Arthropoda comprise majorly of insects, while phylum Chordata comprise of organisms which have the notochord. The notochord is the part that forms spinal cord in mature organisms. When they are still very young, they comprise of this part called the notochord, which also acts as the remnant of the tail in organisms which do not have the tail, and for organisms which have it, then that tail remains to be the extension of the notochord. Phylum Arthropoda. These are actually the insects, as I said earlier, and they have the following characteristic. Number 1, they have jointed appendages. When you look at their legs, they are having various joints that we refer to. They have various joints rather. Number 2, their body is covered by a hard exoskeleton. During the developmental stages, as they continue to grow old, this exoskeleton may become smaller and it ruptures out and it gets out of the insect in the process called molting. And molting is also referred to as ecdysis, but we'll come to look at the process of molting later on. Another one is referred to, another characteristic is they have segmented body. Their body is divided into various parts. Those segments are basically the head, thorax, and the abdomen. For other insects, it could be divided into 2, that is head and cephalothorax, and the other ones may be having the head and the trunk. Characteristic number 4, they have an open circulatory system. Open circulatory system is the type of circulatory system whereby blood gets into direct contact with the tissues, but it does not flow in vessels. So opposite of open circulatory system is closed circulatory system. Having talked about that, I'm now going to move to the next part, that is the phylum Chordata. These are the organisms which have the notochord at their early developmental stage. And for phylum Chordata, they are actually characterized by presence of the vertebral column. These are the classes that are found under phylum Chordata, and it includes class Pisces. Let me write them somewhere. We also have class Amphibia, class Aves, Reptilia, and class Mammalia. Class Pisces comprise of mainly fishes. We call them fish. Class Amphibia comprise of organisms which majorly survive in water. They include uh, the frogs, salamander, toads, among others. We also have class apes, and these are actually the birds. They belong to this class called apes. The second last one is class reptilia. Most of the class reptilia tend to differ a little bit from class amphibia in sense that for class reptilia, they may survive better. A big number of them occupy the terrestrial habitat compared to amphibia, which majorly occupy the aquatic habitat. For the class reptilia, it includes organisms such as crocodiles, snakes, lizards, among others. Finally, we have this class here, which is referred to as Mammalia, which majorly comprise of animals which have the mammary glands.